Curtis Flowers was arrested in 1997 after being accused of killing 4 people at a furniture store in Mississippi. He spent 23 years in prison until he was released in 2019, which is pretty recent. Although he was wrongly accused, he was not released until 2019, and charges against him were dropped the following year. Now, Mr. Flowers is suing the district attorney who prosecuted him 6 times. His lawyer said he is seeking accountability for the time he wrongfully spent in prison. Given the absence of any solid evidence against Mr. Flowers, defendants engaged in repeated misconduct to fabricate a case that never should have been brought up, says the suit, which is filed in federal court in Mississippi on Friday. The suit seeks unspecific damages. The suit names as a defendant Doug Evans, the Montgomery County District Attorney, and 3 investigators, John Johnson, Jack Matthews, and Wayne Miller, who all worked with Mr. Evans Montgomery and County, who is not named to be a defendant. Although Mr. Flowers was wrongly charged and wrongly prosecuted 6 times, that he spent 23 years in prison that he will never be able to get back a day in his life. In a statement on that Friday that was made, Ron McDuff of Mississippi, the Center for Justice, a lawyer for Mr. Flowers, 51 years old after getting out of prison and was wrongly accused. His client said he never should have been charged, and Curtis was 26 with no criminal record and no history to suggest that he would commit a crime like this. Mr. McDuff said the prosecution was tainted throughout by racial discrimination and repeated misconduct. Back then, whites and blacks were not equal, and it was uncivil. So that means Curtis Flowers was prosecuted, discriminated, and wrongly misconducted through this lawsuit. He seeked accountability for the misconduct. Ms. Flowers was accused of killing 4 people in a furniture store where he had worked for 3.5 days. His arrest did not come up until 6 months later in January 1997. His case drew a wide spread of attention everywhere around him. People were saying he was misconducted, and in a series of the podcast series, In the Dark, which broke down several aspects of the case, including an episode on the gun used in the killings, which was never even found. 3 people were found dead inside the Tardy Furniture Store in Mississippi on July 16, 1996, Robert Golden, Carmen Rigby, and Bertha Tardy. A 4th victim, Derek Stewart, died from his gunshot wounds at a hospital about a week later, according to the suit. The murders happened during a spree of armed robberies and murders in commercial establishments and banks that plagued Montgomery County and nearby counties from 1995 to 1997. The suit says no plausible motive tied Mr. Flowers to the crimes, so why would he be caused? The only option was racial discrimination. The suit says the prosecution's theory was not for Mr. Flowers, and commit quadruple murder, which was precision shooting because he was upset over having been let go of a minimum wage job. Now, a minimum wage job would not make anybody or most people try to kill somebody, as Mr. Flowers had other jobs in line, as said in the suit. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled in 2019 the prosecutor, Mr. Evans, had unconstitutionally kept black people from serving on the jury. This means that his jury was full of white males. That means that he would not have gotten a fair trial, and that means that they were not following the laws at all. By pursuing a relentless, determined effort to get rid of the black individuals, he just had black people on his jury. The state wanted to try Ms. Flowers, ideally before an all-white jury. In March, a judge in Mississippi ordered the state to pay Mr. Flowers $500,000, the maximum the law allows, for wrongly imprisoning him for more than 20 years. The order came after Mississippi had passed a new law in 2019 to provide compensation to people who were wrongly convicted and impersonated for felony and crimes. While in prison, Mr. Flowers missed out on several life events, including the funeral of his mother. The suit says Clayton Golden, one of the lawyers, said Mr. Flowers can never get back the 23 years that he spent in prison for something he was wrongly done for. He can't get back those 23 years and miss many life monuments and many things that happened. The law allows innocent people to file lawsuits seeking to hold state officials accountable for misconduct leading to wrongful imprisonment. She said, with this case, we can hope to do just that and to seek some of the redress for Curtis Flowers for his honors he endured, and more than 2 decades behind bars, which should not have been persecuted. By pursuing a relentless, determined effort to get rid of the black jury, Curtis Flowers would have to pay $500,000. Imprisoning him for more than 20 years is wrongfully accusing him. The order came after Mississippi had passed a new law in 2015 to pursue the compensation, as he said. Ms. Flowers missed out on many, many, many life events, and there's no plausible motive tied to Ms. Flowers' crimes. But they just said because he was black and because it was uncivil that he was going to be the person tried. And he was tried more than 6 times, and those odds are against him every single time if there is a white jury. That means that 1 out of the 6 times he just had to be accused of being guilty. And they tried him over and over again for the same thing, which should not be lawful. Thank you.